Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Abrar Hussain and today we are diving into the concept of assessment for learning or learning assessment. So by the end of this video, you will understand what AFL assessment for learning is, what is its role in the learning process, and what are the key characteristics that make it effective. So let's get started. Basically, assessment play a very important role, whether it's a workshop or a training program or whether it's in school, university. For example, if you are attending a workshop, a seminar, or a training, for example, if you are a teacher, if you are in school, university. So assessment is very important. Why? Because it will guide you how the topic which is being discussed is going on and whether it's impactful for the learners or not. So let's start our topic of today. What is learning assessment? What is its role in learning and what are its characteristics? Assessment for learning is also called AFL, assessment for learning. Assessment for learning is an ongoing process. You must remember that it is an ongoing process. I'm not talking about the summative assessment. There are two types of assessment which we usually refer to: formative assessment and summative assessment. Summative assessment is done at the end, just like final exams. But this assessment for learning is a type of formative assessment which you do during the teaching process, during the workshop, during the training program. So it's an ongoing process used by teachers or lecturers and students to gather and use information about students' learning to improve their understanding and skill. So basically, this assessment will guide you and it will give you some information whether all of the students or some of the students are going well in a particular topic or not. So the most important thing and takeaway from this slide is that assessment for learning is an ongoing process, but that should be tailored to the different students' learning capabilities. What is the process? How do you do assessment? So first of all, what you do, you define learning outcomes, or which is called SLO, students learning outcome. For example, if you have a topic, so you will define what are the ultimate outcomes that I want to achieve from this topic. For example, if it's a workshop, so what are it's a workshop on MNE. So what are your learning outcomes? Learning outcomes are that the participant will know about the monitoring, evaluation, and research. If it is in a school, so you have a topic in a subject, Urdu, English, or mathematics, or any science subject, and you want to assess the learning. So first of all, you will define some learning outcomes. What are the outcomes that you want to achieve at the end of a session? First of all, this is the first process in the learning assessment, that you define learning outcomes or SLOs. Then you do the assessment. Then you give feedback. Which percent of the students are good, which percent of the students are not good, which one are those which needs a lot of improvement. There are students which does not need any improvement, they're already good. So all these feedback you will compile, and then you need to develop tailored strategy based on the feedback. For example, if you have a feedback related to some students that they are very weak in a specific topic, so what are the strategies to develop for them to improve them? And that's when you develop strategies for improvement. So again, you are starting the same process. In this way, you are going to improve the learning process. AFL is assessment for learning. This is the abbreviation used. It is different from summative assessment, as I mentioned earlier also, which is typically a final evaluation. So that is done at the end of instructional period. But this learning assessment is done continuously on daily basis. This is a type of formative assessment, meaning it occurs during the learning process and aims to shape learning and teaching methods, such as teacher using questioning during the subject. For example, if he is teaching some subjects or a topic, and again he is asking questions from the students so that he or she may understand the level of the students' learning process. Classroom discussions. For example, there are discussion within the classroom, and student reflections to understand how well student grasp a concept, and then adjusting instruction accordingly. So that's very important, to adjust instruction accordingly. Usually we are doing these assessments a lot, but then to make tailored strategies based on the results of the assessment, that's very important. Now let's discuss what is the role of assessment in learning. If you are reading a book, so you should also be doing some assessment of yourself, whether you are grasping the topics or not. So what is its role? It enhances students or the learners learning. It guides instructional decisions. For example, if students are weak, so you must assess your instructional guidelines also, how you are imparting the session, how you are imparting the lesson. So you may learn something from the assessment to change those methodologies also. So it will give you decisions, informed decisions. It will encourage student self-assessment. Students will participate in doing their own assessment. It provides feedback to both students and teachers. It's not about the teacher only or the students only or the learner only. It provides feedback to both of them. Similarly, AFL helps in identifying students' strengths and weaknesses. Which of the students are weak? What are the key strengths? What are the key weaknesses? Why some students are not learning and the others are good? The same topic, same teacher, same classroom, but some students are good and some students are not. Why? So it helps you in identifying those strengths and weaknesses of both the students and your topic also, and your teaching methodology also. It allows teachers to tailor their teaching strategies to meet students' need. It empowers students to take ownership of their learning by involving them in self-assessment and goal setting, where they are, where they need to reach by the end of this month, by the end of this week, by the end of this year. You can also share in a comment a case study or anecdote about a teacher who effectively used AFL to improve students' outcome, or if you have come across such case study where the assessment process provided some feedback to you and you changed your methodologies, etc., etc. So you can share your ideas in the comments of this video. Now, characteristics of assessment for learning. What are the key characteristics of assessment for? It's an ongoing process, as I told you earlier, regular and continuous assessment. AFL is not one-time event, but a continual part of teaching and learning. Students' involvement, actively involve students in their learning process, how students can participate in setting learning goals and assessing their own progress. Feedback-oriented, provides actionable feedback. Students need which type of strategies and activities so that they improve. Timely and constructive feedback that helps students understand their progress and areas for improvement. Adjustable instruction is modified based on assessment data. If you have some data from the assessment, so you can modify your instructional methodologies, etc. So it allows for flexibility in teaching strategies based on students' needs. But you can understand the needs of the students through assessment only. Transparent criteria, clear criteria for success are shared with students, that this is the criteria, these are the questions, these are the marks, and you have to obtain this much. And you can also develop some criteria. For example, if someone obtained this much percentage, so that would be above expectation, and similarly such type of categories you can make, and you can clearly communicate this to the students. It is important that students know what is expected of them and how they can achieve success. This is very important. Before the assessment, you must ensure that students or learner understand. Reflection. It encourages both teachers and students to reflect on the learning process, what has been learned and how it has been learned, fostering a deeper understanding. So this is the same thing in a tabulated form for you, so that you may understand it easily, that it's an ongoing process. So it's continuous, not a one time, integrated into teaching and learning. It should be part of the daily teaching practices. Students actively participate in setting goals and assessing their progress. Timely, constructive feedback helps students understand their progress and areas for improvement. AFL also allows flexibility in teaching strategies based on individual student needs. Students knows what is expected of them and how to achieve success, and encourage reflection or learning experiences, fostering deeper understanding. These are the basic characteristics. Whenever you are doing assessment, you should check whether all these characteristics are there. Think about or comment on how you have experienced or used AFL in your own learning or teaching. Dear viewers, subscribe, like, and share the video. Leave your comments, questions, suggest further reading or resources so that we may continue to give you some more tutorials on assessments and learning assessments. We will also come up with some other sessions for learning evaluations, how to evaluate learning. That is also a very important topic that we will bring to you soon. Thank you for watching. Best of luck. Dear viewers, we have started this YouTube channel. There are free of cost learning tutorial on if you want to learn Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access, PowerPoint, MS Word, other learning tips. So we have detailed playlist and there are hundreds of tutorials on Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, how to design presentation, Microsoft Access, how to develop databases and manage data, online data collection, learning Google Form, Kobo, MS Forms. If you visit this channel, you can find lots of video tutorial. Kindly support us, visit the channel. For example, in MS Excel, you will find these sessions in a proper sequence. For example, in MS Excel playlist, we have this basic session and then session 2, 3, 4. So if you start learning these sessions, so from the start, you can go ahead and you will find in a sequence sessions on Microsoft Basics, data analysis, conditional format, pivot tables, use of if, concatenate formulas, dependent drop down list, validation, name managers, VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP function, F function, advanced use of count, F in some ifs, how to find duplicates, tricks and tips related to Microsoft Excel, how to develop search boxes, searchable drop down list, aggregate functions, tracking performance of the projects or any other analysis of research that you have conducted, for example, school function, other such studies. There are sessions on how to develop beautiful charts, attractive charts, speedometers, dashboards in Microsoft Excel. Similarly, in PowerPoint also you will find how to design beautiful presentation in PowerPoint, how to do in MS Access also you will find all these sessions in proper sequence. The Access tutorials playlist, there are almost 8 sessions. In session 1 you will find the basics, how to create tables, queries, forms, and then you will go on with advanced options in Microsoft Access. Similarly, you will find tutorial on how to collect online data, Google Form, Kobo, MS Form. You will find also the use of MS Word, the mail merge functions. There are sessions on SPSS also, so you can learn SPSS if you need to do some analysis in SPSS. There is a series on project management also, how to conduct need assessment studies. Kindly support us, visit the channel, watch, learn and improve your productivity. Thank you so much.